Well, I'm excited to welcome Robert Pasicko to the stage. Robert, you run the Alternative Finance Lab at UNDP, the United Nations Development Program, and we're here together today because we have an announcement to make you want to share with the audience here at the Impact Summit.
Yes, thank you for having me here. So at UNDP, we are present in over 170 countries and territories, and basically we are supporting governments in 170 plus countries and territories. What we can see for the last several years is there is a growing demand from the governments to understand better how can blockchain, crypto, Web 3.0 influence their own digital strategies, their own development. And in order to be able to support them, we also have to invest in ourselves. And I'm super happy that we have kind of designed and soon be initiating Algorand Blockchain Academy for UNDP. And this is where we want to get our staff deeper involved to understand these concepts and to understand what are the implications for the development in our work. So I'm super happy for this. We are starting with our regional bureau for Europe and Central Asia, but also in Latin America, we will translate it to Spanish language. And after that, we are planning to our Tadamon project, NGO Empowerment Project, to open it up also for NGOs from our network, more than 34 countries at the moment.
Okay, wow, that's really exciting. I mean, I can just speak for the Algorand Foundation. We're super excited to partner with UNDP and the Algorand Blockchain Academy. When will the academy kick off?
So what we are hoping is that, like something from February, March, we can already have the first cohort out. After we learn from some kind of, with this first cohort, we will be able to tweak it a bit, so to see what are the things that needs to be more smoother, or to add something more, or to maybe take something out. And then we hope that after May, June, it will be open for all the UNDP employees, over 22,000 people. So it will be additional possibility for them to get trained.
Okay, thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.
All right, thanks Timsy for joining us. Moving on, leader in blockchain, Algorand is betting big on India. The company announced a slew of tie-ups with NASSCOM, TIE Bangalore and Rural Finance Bank for Women. In conversation with CNBC TV18's Ashwit Kumar, Algorand Foundation's CEO S. Warden talks about India as a hub for blockchain, tech, potential use cases and regulatory challenges.
The reason that we landed on India as our most important geography, and it is the only geography that we have a dedicated team, a vice president running a dedicated technical lead, ambassadors on the ground. We've gone very big in India, and so why? And we started this last year, so we have been doing this for a year. And why India? There's I guess 3 or 4 things. One is that India is the fastest growing G20 country. It was last year. We expect it to be one of the fastest growing countries in the G20 for the next 10 years. Sure. You had a very successful G20 summit this year, so congratulations on that. Second, the Indian government has already been very bleeding edge in terms of things that matter to Web3. First, identity. So you have the Aadhaar identity system, which is so many years old now, very cutting edge in the beginning. And second, of course, you've got the India stack built on Aadhaar with the direct payments, the UPI, right? And so countries like the United States are desperately trying to catch up to India for some of these other strides that it's making, particularly in identity and direct payments. And so we want to be with India as it pushes further ahead yet again at the forefront, and we think that forefront is going to be Web3.
Interesting. Let's talk about the strategy that Algorand Foundation has here as far as India is concerned. Just looking at the efforts in the last few months, last few years, the one sense that gets is that the Algorand Foundation has a 3-pronged approach. They're looking to engage with the developer community, with the academia, as well as with the government. Can you give us some color on the initiatives of Algorand Foundation here in India?
How do you know so much about us already? You are really... So yes, this is, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a, how do you call it, a virtuous circle So what you do is you do something, you have a bottoms-up approach and a top-down approach.
Sure.
So from the bottoms-up approach, we target the developer community. So the more people that understand how to build on Algorand, and it's not very hard, by the way, you just need to know Python. The more people that, you know, are building on Algorand, then we think, okay, these builders, they need to be with entrepreneurs. So the second, you know, leg of the stool, I would say, is that we try to encourage the entrepreneurial ecosystem. And we do that with pitch competitions, incubator partnerships. We've got a partnership with T-Hub, for example. And then the third prong of that approach is then to work with the government, work with larger companies to bring these solutions, deploy these solutions where they can be deployed at scale. So they all, and then of course, if you deploy at scale, then what do? You attract developers.
Sure.
So the way it works is that you get this kind of virtuous circle upward, and that's how you get a countrywide scaled impact.
The next leg that the government is aspiring for is that we've had digital payments. The next leg that the government is hoping for is digital credit. So I would just want to weave in the aspect when you talk of credit scoring using blockchain technology, how that can propel India's aspirations when we look at the next stage of digital lending and digital credit.
Well, if I can use Mandeshi again as an example, those women, thanks to Mandeshi, they have always now been able to get financing. But how do they establish credit? They establish credit because of the group that they belong to, right? This is a very tried and true way of getting credit for people that don't have an identity or credit history. The next step for them, though, is to be able to establish credit as an individual without having to rely on the group, the collateral and the group covering for me if I miss a payment, right? That's how credit works now. So you want to be able to bring to bear the experiences that you have. If you got an education certificate, if you made 5 payments on time in a row, if you got something or did something that establishes you as a good credit, this is going to be the next step. Now the problem with that is that you can say all of these great things about yourself, but nobody believes you. And this is where blockchain technology comes in, because if it's on the blockchain, put on the blockchain by a third party, you can't touch it or mess with it. That's the beauty of it. And so it's believable, and you can point to it and everybody knows that it is secure and unadulterated, and therefore you can point to it proudly and say, I do have this good credit because I have done these things, and you don't have to trust me. It's right there on the blockchain.
All right, so let's get you most.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Zen Lounge. If you enjoyed those clips of me connecting the dots between Algorand Foundation, the UN Development Program, Hillary Clinton, and how Algorand is targeting India, then please give me a subscribe. The massive players behind the scenes that are colluding to make sure Algorand is successful and adopted is massive. It's almost impossible to ignore. Just over a month ago, I made a video saying elites are planning to pump Algorand. We share connections with Algorand and the World Economic Forum. In this video today, not only did we see since that video, we're up 22%. So since the video, Algorand is up 22%. The whole market is up in general, so that is not that significant. But today, Algorand partners, now December 1st, this news was released, Algorand partners with the United Nations Development Program to educate UN employees on blockchain. Let's read the key highlights real quick. The United Nations Development Program is taking a bold step toward the future by launching the Algorand Blockchain Academy. The ambitious education program will teach over 22,000 UN employees across 170 countries how emerging blockchain technologies can help achieve global development goals. They'll cover topics like using blockchain to expand financial access, to boost supply chain transparency, enable new ownership models, and build secure digital identities. That's what spooks a lot of people out right there. So Doro Unger Lee notes that this training represents a critical first step in applying real solutions to the UN sustainability targets. So right here, when they say blockchain technology can help achieve global development goals, whose goals are those? We're talking about the World Economic Forum's goals. We're talking about the United Nations sustainability goals. Have you guys ever researched Agenda 2030? Well, you should. Because it's really important to understand what the elites are planning behind the scenes. And they have their UN sustainability targets, and they want Algorand to be a technology provider that helps them do this. And this is going to be a pilot program. This beta rollout will begin next quarter. and full implementation of Blockchain Academy will continue throughout 2024. So there's a collaboration between Algorand Foundation and the United Development Program, and they're colluding. And basically, they're going to be empowering environmental, social, and economic change agents with the decentralized tools of Algorand. So whether you like this project or don't like this project, I think it's important to understand what's happening behind the scenes. You know, we could see it's not just, they were just actually had the ALGO Impact Summit, and this was happening in India. So they're fully targeting India. There's tons of videos on their page. You can see the announcement about the UN is pinned to their post. They're proud of this collaboration. And if you look back in the past, you'll see, you know, Hillary Clinton is also very focused on India too. So it's a global agenda, and Algorand is part of this global agenda. And yeah, I just wanted to do a recap on my video from over a month ago. Did get 1,000 views, which is pretty good for my channel. And I would go back and watch these if you haven't watched them yet. But Algorand is steadily climbing with the rest of the market, and it looks like their party is just going to be getting started as they roll out this United Nations Development Program for 170 countries and 22,000 UN employees. Insane. So guys, remember to give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and if you want, check out the links in the description below. I would love for you to join the website and Discord community, subscribe and become a member today. Also check out the free Telegram group in the link below. You could join that to get started. And I also have promo links for Decent if you're in the market for a cold wallet. Algorand, if you're interested, remember this is not financial advice and not a financial recommendation. We're just connecting the dots between the world's power players and Algorand. But it's basically available on almost every exchange in the world, even Coinbase, Binance. Very easy to get access to the ALGO token. And yeah, there is definitely some type of global agenda to push the Algorand technology onto countries like India. So I'll see you guys next video, and peace.